Hi, RM. This is Michael. Thank you for doing your independent speaking practice here. I'm getting ready to read and listen to your practice test. Let me do one more thing here before I forget. I want to get the ETS's speaking rubrics here. You can see that I go to that website a lot. I want to make sure that I accurately score what you're sending me here. So you said, please listen to evaluate score and provide feedback on my integrated speaking practice, right? Okay, so some people buy food that is already prepared. Other people buy fresh food and prepare meals themselves. Which do you prefer? Explain why. Using details and examples. This is where most people go off the rails. They just don't give any details. They really don't. They talk about things in a very generic sense and they don't give any specific examples anywhere in their response. So make sure that you read each speaking and writing prompt carefully and then you exactly address the purpose of those prompts. Okay, let me go back here. Okay, so we have this, and then we have this one. Okay, here we go.
It turns out that when I was a child,
Okay, here we go.
personally, if I have to choose one, I would prefer to buy food that is already prepared because I don't know how to cook. Because it turns out that when I was a child, when I was a kid,
Because if you say in 2000, you want to make sure your tongue is between your teeth when you produce that sound.
my mom used to prepare the food for all my family, and even more, there was a time that I tried to cook and it was a disaster.
Okay.
In addition to this,
It was
I
a
don't have too much
disaster.
time to
Could you specify that more? Did you create a fire in the kitchen? Did you boil food so much that it spilled over onto the floor? So elaborate on that idea. I like that. You were cooking, it was a disaster, it didn't work out, but elaborate on why it was a
prepare
disaster.
my own food. That's why I prefer to buy food that is already prepared. Since I have to work in the mornings in the hospital as an assistant doctor, and then in the evenings I have to work in the small grocery nearby my house. Therefore, if I were to cook my own food, I will not have enough time to do all these activities.
Okay, so you're not a good cook and you don't have a lot of time, right? Let's listen to what you said in the beginning one more
Personally, if I
time.
have to choose one, I would prefer to buy food that is already prepared because I don't know how to cook. Because it turns out that when I was a child, when I was a kid,
If you want to outline it, just say I have limited time and I have limited time and cooking skills. Therefore, I prepare to buy meals already prepared. Then you go on to explain that through the use of supporting details. That's what I think you can do there. I'm looking at the speaking rubrics here. So 3, 2. I think it's a combination of 2 and 3. So I'm going to put you at between 2.5 and 3. I think with your delivery, I know you're working hard on this, but you still need to vary your intonation more than what you're doing in this response. I think with your topic development, I think you can elaborate and be more specific with some of the examples you're providing. That's going to help the depth and progression of ideas. I think of your speaking language use. I think sometimes your vocabulary and your grammar is a little bit basic. That's my observation. I'm going to put you at about maybe 20 to 21 points out of 30 on this practice test.